Welcome back to In the Slant. Week 4 is officially over. It's kind of crazy to say that we're a quarter way through the season. Before we get in this video, we're going to be reacting, like I said, to Week 4. And then tomorrow we got our Week 5 predictions. Make sure you drop a like in this one. Of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Dustin's feeling on top of the world today. Jared and I are kind of, I would say probably not feeling as good as Dustin after Week 4. Last week when we made our predictions, to recap right now, I think I have a pretty good lead as far as weekly pick'ems. I went 10-6, Jared went 10-6, and Dustin went 9-7. So that is how the weekly pick'ems are going so far. But
and we forgot to say that we are going to be doing a challenge at the end of this. At the end of the year.
we made a bet.
We came up with some ideas, but we're not for sure on them yet because one of them is kind of crazy, and I don't think I can handle it.
But that's why the other one's more embarrassing. So you either take the bet that's going to be more pain wise, or you take the bet.
So basically, whoever gets last place at the end of the season, regular season, weekly pick'em. Like I said, right now I have like a 7-point lead or something like that, and then Dustin and Jared are like neck and neck. So basically, right now, as of right now, these two are kind of fighting it out. But anything could change. The punishment is either the one chip challenge, or you have to make a cringy ass TikTok video that we're gonna upload on In the Slant or something.
And they set me up because they didn't decide this bet till like a week or two later.
But we didn't know about it either.
So now it's like, damn, I really got to start doing better.
I went all upsets last
week. I don't know, man. But that is the bet we have going on. But let's recap Week 4.
Brady, don't think that just because you have a 7 lead that you're out of it.
I'm not saying I'm safe.
And he only has one option. He has to take the chip.
I'm not saying I'm safe. Bengals versus Dolphins was the first start, or was our Thursday night football game. When we made this prediction, Jared chose Dolphins. Dustin and I chose the Bengals to win, and I'm glad to say that we were correct. Now, I will say it wasn't in the circumstances that I wanted with Tua getting injured, which is what the biggest, storyline from this is. The Bengals get a huge win. The Tua concussion situation and, the NFLPA, I mean, there's a lot to take away from that. I mean, if the Dolphins had come out and said that Tua was going to be able to play this week, that would even look even worse, but he is officially ruled out for this week. But basically, he got hurt that one Sunday, and he came back in, which was crazy because the way he got up and went right back down. And, of course, then he was able to come back. And a lot of people were saying he obviously was not, cleared to play. And, the Dolphins already, played him in general. So
do you think that, like, randomly, though, he was just like, dude, I got to play this game or something like that?
I feel like he had the heart in him to think he has to finish the game out because he was playing the Bills. So
I mean, like I said, the NFLPA is, researching into it right now, and Mike McDaniel has been kind of, deflecting it, and the whole I don't know, man. Like, we don't know exactly what happened, but a lot of people are already saying that the Dolphins definitely did wrong by Tua by playing him out there. That
they should have sat him at least that week.
I was about to say, regardless, after seeing my quarterback not even be able to stand up and fall right back down, I'd be like, man, you ain't finishing this.
And it's just the way he went down was so scary, and I mean, it just looked really bad. Obviously, he like literally got knocked out. You saw his hands freeze, and it just was not a good situation at all. Really not something you want to see on the field when we watch football. You don't like injuries like that, but they've been saying lately that he's in good health and everything is fine. So I don't know. Some people are saying to take him out for the season. I highly doubt that's going to be the case. I don't see that happening, but we'll see, man. Shout out to the Bengals, though, for getting a huge win. Is there anything else you guys want to actually talk about the game? Like, I mean, the game was pretty slow for the most part. Teddy Bridgewater came in, obviously, and the Bengals just basically, T. Higgins had himself a game, and
yeah, I mean, like
Tyreek Hill played well.
It was a good game, and up until really Tua got hit, like. I think was the Dolphins up before he got hit like that?
I can't remember. I mean, it was Thursday.
I know it was a super close game when he went down and all that at least. So, but I mean, after he went down, the Bengals just ran with it, like Brady said.
I mean,
T. Higgins had a game.
Bridgewater didn't look too bad. I didn't think.
No,
he looked all right.
I depending on who the Dolphins play, I'm not sure. Honestly, I think
they play the Jets next week.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely.
That should be a fun game. Actually,
the backups, Flacco and Zach.
No,
Zach.
Which we'll talk about them later. But
he looked good too.
I think if Tua was healthy, I think healthy completely, not with no concussion or whatever, I feel like they could have won the game. But.
All right, moving on to the London game, Saints versus Vikings. Honestly, I don't really have a ton to say about this one. Justin Jefferson fantasy owners are happy that he had himself a game. Chris Olave looked good. I mean, but this is a game the Vikings were supposed to win with, the way. Okay, there is one thing to say about fantasy. If you're, if you play fantasy, Kamara getting ruled out at 7 in the morning. Dustin was victim where he overslept because there was no signal that Kamara was going to be ruled out the day before.
And like Brady, I guess it was like a late report that they raised Latavius Murray from the practice squad, but I didn't even see that report before I
didn't
went
either,
to bed.
be honest with you. Some
So-
people are saying that you should have noticed
So
that. But
I woke up at like 10. I woke up at 10 a.m. like the morning of the game was like already halfway through on Sunday, and I'm like looking. I'm like, oh, Chris Olave got a touch. I was like, that's good for me. And then I look, it's like Alvin Kamara rolled on. I was like, what? I was like, oh god.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, the Vikings. This is the game they're supposed to win. Andy Dalton's playing. Michael Thomas is out. Kamara got ruled out. So the Saints were playing basically with a lot of their weapons not being there. But the Saints had a chance to tie it at the end with a 61-yard field goal, if I remember correctly.
And he hit a 60 in that game too.
Yeah, he hit a 60 in that game. Will Lutz double doinks it, Cody Parkey style. That was so crazy. But like I said, the Vikings get a W in London. Not much to say.
All I gotta say, as I'm not even trying to disrespect any Vikings fans. I know I've picked against them every time. You guys should have beat them way more than what this shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Now I thought jet lag would play a big factor in this, but both teams seemed to be on point. It was a high scoring game, and Justin Jefferson had a bounce back, which was huge for me in fantasy.
And Chris Olave looked good.
Yeah, he did too as well. But shout out to Justin Jefferson for having that bounce back game.
For sure. Commanders versus Cowboys. I don't want to spend too long on this one. As a Commanders fan, I'm down bad, and I've already given up on the season, man, and it's so sad because
He's a Raiders fan now with me.
Are you fully accepting giving up?
Pretty much, man. Like, this was supposed to be a year where expectations were going to be higher. Like, I know a lot of people didn't believe in us, but, interior wise, as Commanders fans, like, people see Carson Wentz and are like, he's terrible, which, yeah, I can understand that. But for us Commanders fans, it's the best quarterback we've seen in a long time. And it's just the offensive line has been atrocious. The coaching staff, it all looks bad, man. And I'm just over it. But Cooper Rush for the Cowboys is 4-0 as a starter. Which is very nice. And like I said, Commanders look awful. And I'm already over this season. That's exactly what I wrote down.
I'm just going to let Brady do the talking because unfortunately, I was over here watching the games, but I was watching Ravens and Dolphins, so I did not watch
You mean Ravens and
Bills.
Bills, I meant Ravens, Bills. Oh, my God. Yeah, right.
But no, the thing is, like, the Cowboys won this game, obviously. But I think if the Commanders' offense is as good as it's supposed to be, I really think there was opportunities for us to win this game. That's the sad part. But the offense is so bad. It just looks bad. Let's move on. I don't care.
Hold on, real quick. I know Brady doesn't want to hear this, but he already knows this. I think it was the stupidest thing to go after Carson Wentz, a guy who's kind of already up there in age. I think they definitely should have either went for a draft in the pick or in the.
I mean, it's just because this draft class wasn't good at quarterback.
I mean,
That's the
but
biggest
still,
knock,
you see
I guess.
what the Steelers kind of did.
We'll see if Kenny Pickett is going to be good, which we'll talk about him later. Browns versus Falcons. Cordell Patterson goes to IR, but Browns was a game they should have won. And then one thing I do want to say real quick for the fantasy people, Arthur Smith does not give a damn about your fantasy team. I'm just going to say that right now. He's running 4 running backs. He's got another tight end playing just as much snaps as Kyle Pitts that you spent a 4th overall pick on as a tight end. I don't know. Marcus Mariota throw the ball 19 times and only completed 7 passes is just, I don't know, man. Like I said, the Browns losing this game is not a good look for them either. This is a game they definitely should have won to kind of, stay afloat while we wait for Deshaun Watson to come back.
I mean, I feel like, fantasy owners, you guys should have already known this when Arthur Smith said this ain't about fantasy points on Kyle Pitts, it's about winning games. So, I mean, I wouldn't trust any of the Falcons running backs or tight ends or anything like that, but that's all up to you.
I mean, I'm not mad about this loss because the Browns did lose, so I could care less.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
as
that's
an
good for
AFC
you.
North fan, that's good for you.
I'm pissed, though. Cooper didn't do shit at all. Chubb, though, doing great things out there. Keep doing them.
All right, next game, Bills versus Ravens. What I wrote down here is literally just let Jared rant. That's all I said. So, Jared, I'm just going to let, give you the floor. You say what you want.
Well, you guys can go first. I want to wait. I want to wait.
I
I have a little bit of build up. But what do you guys think of the overall game?
I'm gonna be honest.
Because we was up 20-3.
I know
It's another game where the Ravens had a big lead and then they blew it. So the Dolphins come back. Now the Bills come back. So
Well, it's crazy because every time we start a game off, you see it against Miami. I mean, maybe not so much the Patriots, but then you see it against the Bills. Our defense goes out there killing the first 2 quarters, just slaying them. They couldn't even score. They was turning the ball over left and right.
mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, we can't hold a damn lead. Our defense just folds in the 4th quarter, 3rd quarter as well. And you guys seen John Harbaugh's call. What do you guys think about that? That we didn't take a field goal.
Oh, yeah, the biggest 4th down thing.
We had Mike Davis out there in the slot. What the hell is he doing? I don't think he played any. That was like one of his first snaps of that game, too. Not only that, one thing, we invest so much damn money into this defense to be ranked 32nd in passing. I think we've given up like 1,300 yards over the span of 4 games.
Yeah.
This shit is terrible.
Start any receiver against
yeah,
the Ravens.
And what's crazy though is we're used to having a great defense. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great top 10 defense, but this year we're looking awful. Hopefully we can just bounce back, keep these damn leads that we usually have, and that's really all I gotta say. I ain't got much more.
I
to say
noticed
about
that
this
the
shit.
first 4 games for you guys was against the entire AFC East. So, you know, you won the 2 games you were supposed to, and then the 2 games that were kind of up in the air, which you should have won.
I'm about to say we should have won all 4.
Well, you should have won
points
when you're up big. You should definitely win those games. But I guess if you want to feel comfortable with losing to 2 teams, not the way you did, but Bills versus Dolphins are 2 really good teams. So I mean, I think the Ravens will be fine going forward, but it definitely sucks to drop those 2. You know, when the way you had that lead for sure.
For sure. And one more thing, I don't know if you guys seen at the end where Devin Singletary was about to run in the ball. Then one of our defensive ends went to go hit the ball out because I guess Devin Singletary was going to fall to the line.
Right.
You guys seen what happened with Chubb when he scored? And then
Yeah, they were trying to they were trying to drain out the clock, or they were trying to let them score, right?
Yeah,
Instead
we're trying to, but I think they all knew that Singletary was going to drop at the 1-yard line.
So I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But bounce back Sunday night, maybe against the Bengals. We'll see.
Yeah,
That should be a good one.
If we don't, it's going to be tough.
I mean, but those 2 games we already talked about week 5. Those are 2 games I don't even know what to pick. So that tomorrow's gonna be interesting.
But real quick, the AFC North is already looking like shit. All of us have like 2 wins and 2 losses.
Yeah.
Besides the Steelers, they look awful.
AFC West is up in there too a little bit, I will say. But next game, Seahawks versus Lions, the highest scoring game of the week. I hope you took the over if you're a betting man, because there was like 93 total points scored in this game, which is insane.
Shout out to Jared Goff for helping me win my fantasy this week.
Why'd you have to do it this week, man? Why?
Jared Goff has been amazing.
Dude, he looked so bad, and then like all of a sudden, like third or like I think it's like late second or like early third, he just starts getting fantasy points as like touchdown after touchdown. And like I had Hawkinson in another fantasy league, so I'm seeing like Hawkinson's getting all these touchdowns from Goff. I'm like, dude,
bro, Jared Goff has been amazing for the Lions. Now, one interesting stat that I heard today is the Lions are the best offense in the league, scoring offense in the league, but they're also the worst defense in the league against scoring. So basically, they're giving up a lot of points while scoring a lot of points, which is like almost Jameis Winston territory where like you just don't want to be in. So teams are averaging like 35 against the Lions, and then the Lions are averaging like 30 something. It's crazy. Like the Lions games are it always seems like those games, if you want to play somebody in those games at fantasy style or for fantasy football, it looks like it's gonna be a high scoring game every week. Like,
and what's crazy is that you're putting up 45 points on your side, and then another team's over here dropping 48. That's just insane.
It is wild, especially the Seahawks. I mean, DK Metcalf had a great game. Like I said, a lot of fantasy points in this one.
Penny did too as well.
Rashad Penny looked great. So like I said, man, start anyone you want against the Lions if you're fantasy, enthusiast. But like I said, Lions lose another close game. Unfortunate for them. Like I said, I don't know, man. Goff has looked good though, for sure. And he didn't have Amon-Ra St. Brown or DeAndre Swift or DJ Chark, and he was still able to put up this many points. So this has got to be a good sign going forward. I mean, does Jared Goff maybe make the Lions think about finding a different quarterback if he's going to play this way every week? I mean, if the defense is giving up that many points, and obviously Goff is doing his job, but the defense isn't, if you get what I'm saying.
I think they maybe draft one and just keep him behind Goff just in case.
Yeah, I feel like
but
that's what you got to do.
at the same time, like if you really think about it, like I'm not saying last year was a little bit different, but I did think that Matt Stafford fell off like towards the end of the regular season last year. But he literally has looked terrible, while Goff has looked super good this year.
And we also got to remember, Goff has been to Super Bowl. Although that feels like such a long time ago.
So is Stafford, though.
Yeah, I mean, he won it.
Chargers versus Texans.
Stafford sucks.
I'm kidding. Chargers needed this W after they're losing to the Jaguars. Eckler had a great game. Finally, fantasy owners have been wanting this. And they'll get Keenan Allen back soon. But
hopefully.
The Texans, the one thing I have to ask is if Davis Mills will be the quarterback going forward, because right now I don't think they've gotten a single victory on the year. And this was a game the Chargers needed to win, and they got it. But we'll see.
I'm looking at you too heavy right now.
Davis Mills?
Yeah.
We liked Davis Mills, but maybe
you guys
he isn't
still
the
liking
guy.
him or what?
He isn't the guy.
That changed quick.
We changed our stance up on him now.
I'm sorry, all you Davis Mills fans. Me and Brady, we were running with you guys for a while, but you see fucking these young quarterbacks balling out. And then you see Davis Mill. You can't get like you just can't. He's not like a quarterback. I'm sorry.
But shout out to the Chargers for getting that victory.
Yeah.
Is the one they definitely needed to stay afloat in the AFC West.
And at least they won it by like a good point more, like over a touchdown.
Nothing
so that's
less.
good too,
I think they should.
Especially after losing to the Jaguars the way they did. But like I said, they're gonna get healthier, so they should get better with Keenan Allen coming back as well.
Did we mention that Bosa's out?
Yeah, Bosa. We had mentioned that last week when he got hurt. But yeah, he's out. I don't. Was he out for the season?
8 to 10 weeks. I think it was.
Rashawn Slater's out for the season. That sucks for them. But Titans versus Colts. Colts are confusing, and they also could be without Jonathan Taylor Thursday night.
No,
against
it's
the
not even.
Broncos.
It's not even confusing. I told you guys.
They're confusing me.
No, I told you guys last week that if you watch that game, the Chiefs only lost because of Chris Jones. So
So it
literally,
was a fluky win then.
Yeah, it was.
You did
literally
say that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was a fluke win, and they went back to earth. Derrick Henry, like I said, like I was telling them about the Raiders when they beat us. Derrick Henry went off, and then Derrick Henry went off again. So Derrick Henry got his groove back from the Raiders' terrible run defense. So I'm glad Derrick Henry's back. As long as King Henry's running like that, they're better than the Colts. So
The Titans are on a 2-game win streak, so they're kind of getting their groove back. Traylon Burks got hurt in this game, and he has turf toe, so he's going on IR, so that sucks for them. So it sounds like, I guess, Josh Gordon might get some more targets.
Robert Wood, fantasy owners might be a little bit more happy.
Maybe. I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball to somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe next week if you want to start Robert Woods because they play Washington, so there you go. But, I mean,
Fantasy advice.
we're going to bottle up King Henry, so you might as well. No, I'm kidding. All right, but next game, Bears versus Giants. My biggest thing I want to say is Justin Fields still isn't throwing the ball enough. Darnell Mooney looked a little bit better. But the Giants are 3-1, man. The Giants are 3-1. They did lose Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor in the same game, though. I saw they were working out Jake Fromm today. So we'll see if maybe Daniel Jones isn't ready to go. But Saquon is basically the heart and soul of that team right now anyway. And all their wide receivers are hurt as well. Like, literally all of them. Kenny Galladay got hurt somehow. I don't know how. Well, I mean, we can go all day about Kenny Galladay, but you got Kadarius Toney's hurt. Wan'Dale Robinson's hurt. So the Giants are starting to
Take up
not
that
be
Richie
healthy.
dude.
Huh? Richie James Jr.?
And what's his name? He's out for the season too.
Who?
Giants receiver.
I can't even think of.
I
I
know-
know.
oh,
Sterling
Shepard,
Shepard. I was
Shepard.
like, I don't know why I blanked
I
on
was
that.
thinking
Sterling,
Slay for some reason. I'm like, his name's not Slay.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard got hurt on Monday Night Football. That was an unfortunate injury. But shout out to the Giants, man. They're 3-1. Well, I'm assuming their schedule is going to get a little bit tougher here soon, though, and maybe things could change. But hey, shout out to Saquon. He's looking healthy and he's looking amazing because the last few years,
He's back.
I mean, for real, Saquon. It's been rough for Saquon. The injuries have not helped him at all, but he looks really good now. So shout out to the Giants being 3-1. Jaguars versus Eagles, man. The Jaguars had a stranglehold on this game. They were up 14-0. I was like, damn, are the Jaguars that team? Are they about to not stomp the Eagles, but they're about to beat the Eagles? And then Trevor Lawrence apparently fumbles 4 times, 1 interception.
I told Brady because he didn't even know at the time because I had Trevor Lawrence in my bench. I ended up starting Jared Goff, which thankfully I did. Holy, because
Shouldn't
at
have
first
done
I was like, I was like, dang, Trevor Lawrence. I should have picked him over Goff. And then like all of a sudden I would check back in a little bit and like Trevor Lawrence had like no points. I'm like, how the heck did he go from like 8 to like 3? And then I checked, it was like all the fumbles. So
And they were up 14-0 at one time.
yeah, I
then-
thought they were serious for a second. Dude.
And I think they started thinking about how the Ravens play, and they're like, so they lost the league.
Yeah, no. Jaguars had a pick 6 or something like that on them, and then a touchdown from Trevor Lawrence. So the Jags look like they had this, but the turnovers kills them. The Eagles are 4-0. Miles Sanders is top 5 in rushing
Oh my
yards.
gosh,
So
yeah.
I mean, the Eagles are on a hot streak right now, man.
James
so.
Robinson did get shut out that game, but I do have to give the Jaguars a lot of respect because at the beginning of the season, I did not think they'd be playing this good.
I didn't either. So shout
respect
out
to the Jags.
Yeah, respect to the Jags for sure. Jets versus Steelers. Jets get a huge win with Zach Wilson, but Mitchell Trubisky, we've been kind of talking about it. He got benched, man.
And I think a couple of us said that he would probably get benched mid-season.
Yeah, we said it'd be a while.
I literally said it was gonna be like week 5 was gonna be Mitchell Trubisky's last week play.
You did say really early.
We were talking about, are we going to see Kenny Pickett this season? And yes, that is the answer. Now, I will say I will question the start this week. Maybe you could have waited a little bit longer because they are playing the Bills, and that's going to be a pretty rough game to start against, I would say. The Bills' defense can be...
And what did he throw, like 3 interceptions or something like that?
Yeah, he did, but I will give him a little bit of argument because one of those interceptions was a Hail Mary, and then 2 of them were on like 50-50 balls. And one of them, I know for sure, was to Chase Claypool, which Chase Claypool has been very, very bad this season.
I've said people have been telling him, saying to drop his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he literally went on an interview, I think, and said he was like a top 3 wide receiver or something like that, and he hasn't done nothing. And he dropped a ball.
I haven't liked Claypool at all.
It was a
ever.
very contested catch, but it got like tipped up in the air. So basically, Kenny Pickett's 3 interceptions are a little deceiving, but obviously he does go down on the stat line with 3 interceptions. But we'll see how he looks against the Bills. I mean, as I will say, as a Najee Harris fantasy owner, I'm maybe a little bit more excited. Maybe Kenny Pickett can spark that offense a little bit more because their offenses look bad. We've been saying that with Trubisky. So hopefully Pickett is that guy, man. I'm looking forward to it. George Pickens had a great game, though. So Kenny Pickett and George Pickens.
I regret dropping him in fantasy.
I honestly looked to see if he was still available. I was like, oh, no, he's not. Bobby has him. Bobby has a lot of good stash players
Yeah,
there.
he
but,
does.
Cardinals first, unless you guys have anything else to say about
Well,
Kenny.
just shout out to the Jets for beating the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, the Jets, man. I mean, like I said, next week they get a game.
Wait, I just want to say something. For Zach Wilson's first game back after injury, it's pretty good. Pretty good W right there.
Oh, for sure. To get a win against Pittsburgh is great for them. Cardinals versus Panthers. The Panthers are doomed. They're doomed, man. I mean, if there's a fan base that's even more down bad than Commanders fans, it's probably the Panthers. They're kind of in a similar boat where their team on paper looks pretty decent, but they're not performing at all.
This was my high pick this year because of the team on paper, and Baker's made DJ Moore look like OBJ again, and all this.
I mean, I think the Panthers are legitimately doomed, man. I don't know if there's anything they can do. Matt Rule, they're already talking about firing him.
Dude, not even that. In that interview, they're not lying. I went back and watched that game. The receivers were open because, like, do they honestly? They have Robbie Anderson, they have DJ Moore, and they got Laviska Shenault. Like, they have pieces on the offense and CMC and stuff like that, and can never do anything. Like, I don't know who. I don't even know how the Panthers won that 1 week because I don't know who he was giving the points to because I could not find where it was.
He must be playing with a blindfold or something.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
So I don't know where Baker's career goes from here, but
See, I heard Sam Darnold's coming back from IR soon. At least Sam Darnold throws the ball to DJ Moore. Okay, so throw him back out
I don't know
there.
if they'll. I mean, I honestly could see a world where Sam Darnold's thrown out there. Matt Rule has got to do something, but some people are saying that Matt Rule might be fired before the season even ends. So, like I said, the Panthers are not in a good spot. They're just like my Commanders. Cardinals get a W, and they also get DeAndre Hopkins back soon, so their offense could start to turn around here soon.
After week 6, or is it week 6?
I think it's after week 6. Suspended for 6 weeks, I think. And then Marquise Brown.
Yeah, he had a great game.
He's been amazing in Arizona. He's been their number one guy. So when you have him and DeAndre Hopkins, the offense should open up a little bit more. So maybe the Cardinals going forward are going to be very, very nice. And Rondale Moore came back this week as well. So weapons are there for Kyler Murray. I mean, the defense may be a little sus, but I like the offense for the Cardinals.
I think Kyler Murray had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Marquise Brown did too as well. So
Packers versus Patriots.
This
Perhaps
game was
the
a
bet.
letdown.
What do you mean a letdown? I thought this was the best game of the day.
I'm not
you
saying.
thinking the Packers should have whooped him, huh?
Yeah, I'm not saying that this was like a letdown of a game. I'm just saying that it should have been not a good game.
Yeah, shouldn't have been.
I think
Shouldn't have been an OT.
This was the best game of the week, in my opinion.
No, it might have been, but that's not a good reason.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be a close game because obviously the Patriots came in with their backup quarterback Brian Hoyer, and then he got hurt in like the first or second quarter, and then Bailey Zappi, I think is how you say it, comes in, and he looks pretty decent, and they push the Packers to the limits. They go to overtime. They do come up short, though. They got a pick six on Aaron Rodgers. Romeo Doubs is starting to become that guy in Green Bay.
And I just traded him.
Packers were out their best corner though.
Huh?
So Packers were out
without
their best.
without Jair. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Bill Belichick. Just seems like he gets it done, man. He just finds a way to make games close when you don't think they're going to. So they get to play the Lions next week, I believe. So that should be an interesting game.
Who?
The Patriots.
Oh, okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, but the Packers get a W. They needed that one. And honestly, like I said, if the Packers would have dropped this game, it would have not have been great losing to a
Dude,
third-string
honestly,
quarterback.
I'm not trying to disrespect the Packers because, like, as a fan, we have a friend that's one, obviously, that used to be on the podcast. He was always talking about how, like, oh, we didn't pay Devontae, now we're going to have a good defense. You had two average running backs in David Harris and
Ramondre
Stevenson running all over you guys. Like, I mean, your guys' run defense looked terrible. And that's all I got to say about that game.
Broncos versus Raiders. Before we let Dustin take the floor, Javonte Williams is out for the season. That is very, very unfortunate for the Broncos. And then Randy Gregory also gets hurt as well in this game. And I think, did they put him on IR? I don't know if they did or not. I thought I saw something about that. But
maybe unfortunately, I don't know about
that was number 5, right?
What?
Number 5 on the Broncos?
Yeah, Randy
The one you thought
Gregory.
looked like Jerry Jeudy.
I did not say that was Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, wait, didn't he say that? Yeah, he did.
No, it wasn't me.
Wait, who said that?
Thought it was you.
No,
it was
Nah,
Jared.
it was
Jared asked if that was Jerry Judy.
All I seen was the top of his head, and they had the same hair.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that's who it
The
was.
Raiders got their first W of the season. Josh
Round
Jacobs
of
looked
applause.
amazing. Round of applause. Let's go, Dustin.
I'm not hyped about it yet.
Then why not? I mean, you gotta
Okay,
be-
first off, the Broncos' biggest fluke, 2-1 fluke. I mean, anyone can tell you that. Any of these Broncos fans that were getting hyped, like, oh, the Raiders are 0-3. What are you guys talking about? You guys played the weakest teams, and like you guys didn't even deserve that. And we showed up and just mopped you guys. Honestly, in my opinion, yeah, I get Javonte got injured. Chandler Jones been terrible. Just gonna keep on saying it until he has to put a Where's Waldo jersey on to find him on the field because I have no idea where he's out there. Max Crosby's a beast. Josh Jacobs had himself a game. Derek Carr played average at best, but Josh Jacobs
looked amazing.
amazing.
Great.
He finally
incredible.
Josh McDaniels finally said, "Oh, here's the leash. Let go of it," and he let my man just do his thing.
Do you expect that to roll that way going forward?
I mean, like I been telling you guys that every time Josh
Because
Jacobs
everyone
has
thinks
looked
the
good.
Broncos defense is really good, and Josh Jacobs just ran all over
Okay,
them.
yeah, but I told you their defense was a fluke too.
I'm about to say, you just keep giving Jacobs the ball. I think he'll have that week.
Dude, and like I was telling you guys every week that like Josh Jacobs would have these big plays, and then like on third down though, we're throwing out Brandon Bolden out there to try to freaking
I
get the
know.
big plays. Like
Now listen,
no,
I did doubt Jacobs for a while because he wasn't performing as well, but you'd always back him up, so I guess I can take his word for now if he keeps playing like this. Also, is Derek Carr allergic to Darren Waller?
listen. I think he was probably mad about what happened the week previous. So.
No, but that one catch that he had hit off his hands, remember, and it got picked off? He had got hit pretty hard, though. It was like a blind side, so I can understand him not catching that. Against the Titans, right?
Wait, but not
That-
the touchdown one.
No, yeah, that
the
was
2-point conversion, or which one?
Was it a 2-point or was it a touchdown?
I think it was a 2-point.
Oh, okay, well, I can understand that going off his hands because there's a blind
Was
side
it like
hit.
where is it like when there was like super coverage like on
Yeah,
him?
they're like double, like he was about to catch
Yeah,
the
that was
ball
on the
one.
2-point, yeah.
Okay.
Next game, Sunday Night Football, Chiefs versus Buccaneers. This game was a huge letdown. The Chiefs just pedaled to the metal. The first return of the game for Rashard White. He takes out of the end zone, fumbles. The Chiefs get the ball. They score quickly with Travis Kelce, and they just never let go.
That's
Basically,
a bad spot to put the Chiefs at.
Yeah,
they're gonna
exact-
score regardless when they're right
Exactly. So my biggest takeaway is the Chiefs don't need Tyreek Hill at all. They look good without him. And the Bucs, they just need to throw the ball to Mike Evans every play because that was like the only thing that the Buccaneers had going for them that night. I mean, and then another off-field thing is Tom Brady and Giselle might be getting
there.
divorced.
Oh yeah, I was
apparently.
just seeing
So,
that before this, and you see AB post that picture of him and his wife, right?
Yeah, AB is just
Dude's reckless, man.
Dude, Chris Godwin, honestly, back from ACL injury and then hamstring, that he looked pretty solid. I mean, obviously, that's all I gotta say.
I was like,
Dustin, what the fuck are you talking about?
Chris Godwin, the Chiefs and Bucks game,
You should have heard what you just said. It made no sense.
dude. Just restart.
No.
he said restart.
Cut it. We just cut this part out. Don't leave it in. Don't leave it
Or
in.
at the end, I ain't cut that shit out. That was funny.
No, I think Chris Godwin will come back better. I mean, he just came off injury, but I feel like they'll get back in the groove. They played one of the toughest teams in the AFC. I mean, I guess I always say Patrick Mahomes, when he's behind the ball, I don't care whose receivers are, he's gonna put up a game. And obviously, he had his team, and they kicked the Bucs' ass. So
Rams versus 49ers to end off the week. Kyle Shanahan continues to own Sean McVay in the regular season was my biggest takeaway. Stafford only throws to Kupp. Robinson was a huge waste of money. Stafford throws pick sixes. He was literally only throwing to Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee the whole night.
And every time he was throwing to Allen Robinson, it was always
It was, like,
terrible
on
coverage.
fades in the
Yes,
end zone.
dude. Like literally, like there was no way he was catching those balls.
and I
so.
see people call Allen Robinson bad. He is not bad.
He is
just
not
has,
at all.
No.
He has quarterbacks like Stafford that ain't looking his direction, or Trubisky that can't
Like literally, if you
throw.
watch if you watch the game, Stafford's legit not even looking at Allen Robinson. It is
No,
actually crazy.
Like I said, like when he does look at him, it's like terrible throw. Like either a terrible throw where he's not gonna catch it, or like they're just on him, or like that's not gonna be a good throw anyway. So like. I don't know. That game just did not look good. I was over at a Rams fan's house, and
I'm sure he was down bad.
yeah, he was not very happy. And he said something about Allen Robinson being bad. I'm like, dude, it's
No, it's not him. You guys see OBJ coming back to The Rams now or what?
They, I mean,
I mean,
I mean,
what's
they
the
did
point?
just visit the Giants, but I mean, shit, if he ain't throwing the fucking Robinson.
I don't know,
he
man.
visited the Giants.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but some people were saying it was only to visit some
Yeah.
friends. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But Deebo Samuel had a great touchdown. I mean, 49ers, like I said, the 49ers just always seem to do really good against the Rams in the regular season. But in the playoffs, obviously, it was kind of different from last year in the NFC Championship. But I think that's gonna be our week overview for week 4 for the NFL season. Tomorrow, like I say, we're gonna do our week 5 predictions. It's crazy. We're a quarter way through the season. Dustin, I don't know what the hell you said earlier, but this is in the slant. We're saying peace.